Recording in progress.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Is everybody ready already?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's hit it. Hello, hello, and welcome to our humble little podcast. This is Atlantis After Dark, the greatest place in all of cyberspace. Do you know what my wife and the Titan submarine have in common? The banging stopped. I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go. You are too.
No, he didn't.
So let's not waste any more time. Yes, I did. Let's get right into it and meet today's All-Stars. Oh my good God. Warming up in the bullpen. He recently told his wife that his final wish was to be cremated. So she made an appointment for next Tuesday. It's BIFF by Adam West. What's the word, dude?
What's going on?
Hey.
Long time no talk.
I know.
Sabbatical.
I know. It's been 2 whole weeks since we've been on the air, and I'm so damn glad to be back. And I'm glad to have you back, Mr. Biff. All right. Up next, he's the gangster of ganja. The other day, he was telling me that his wife uses way too much teeth when she goes down on him, but he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. So he asked me, how do I soften the blow? It's Sekju. Welcome, sir. That was terrible. That's terrible.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. They can't all be winners.
No. I was so afraid because we've been off for the last 2 weeks, and this is terrible. I'm sorry for the jokes today, guys. They're terrible. I didn't have a lot of time to come up with a great fucking material. But yeah, welcome, dude. We appreciate having you back, and I'm damn glad to have you back.
I'm so happy to be here. So happy to be back. And holy fuck, am I stoned? That Caped Crusader is fucking potent. Jesus.
The Caped Crusader wins again.
He does. Don't fuck with Batman, people.
Now all we need to do is invent a cocktail named Robin, and you'll be good to go.
There we go.
That's the way to go. All right. Finally today, joining us, in addition to the All-Stars, he's getting so old, he tells me looking in the mirror is a lot like checking the news. He knows there's going to be new developments he won't like. It's the man behind the DCL 4E Discord server and friend of the community, Zuzu. How are you today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I feel like you're holding back. You know, I mean, you don't have to be nice. You can give it to me. You can give me the worst.
Well, we will certainly try. Going forward in the future, I will make a more concerted effort to fuck with you a little harder.
Degrade his genitalia.
Oh, my God. Well, welcome one and all, and I suppose we can get into some DCL, but I don't really know what we're going to talk about. So, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Have you guys all seen the Flash movie at this point?
I have not.
No.
You have not.
No,
No, you have not. Okay.
I have. But
Yeah, you have. I think 50% of us on the show have seen the Flash movie.
I was getting ready to go twice, and I ended up just being lazy.
I think that happened to a lot of people based on its box office.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, I want to see it because Bat Keaton is in it. And then they're like, I got things to do.
Well, I found a fancy theater locally that serves booze and has like waitered service for food and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I could do this. and then my wife didn't want to go, so I was like, all right. Like then I was gonna hit a matinee by myself, like at 10:30, like on a Saturday morning, and then I just didn't feel like it. But I do want to see it. I do want to see it.
At our age, I'm telling you, we are some old folk, but at our age, matinees around 11, 12 o'clock are the best. There's nobody there, nobody to bother you. You know, it's the best.
Yeah, that's how I saw it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I usually do brunch and then a movie these days. It's like the saddest thing ever. I used to hate brunch. Now I look forward to it.
What is brunch? That sounds like a joke from a Flash movie.
That I believe it was.
Oh, no. No.
I made the mistake of going on a Sunday matinee to the Little Mermaid, though.
Oh, that one you'll go to.
That you don't want to do. Because that's just, that is, yeah.
That's when all the parents want to take the kids.
And that was poorly thought out, and
bunch of screaming 10-year-old girls.
Oh my god! I mean, Jesus, holy hell!
That's like unlocking.
I know before we got in the air, we were talking about resorts and like the Caribbean, and I go to an all-inclusive resort in the Dominican Republic. We've gone like 7 or 8 times, and it's adults only.
Yes.
And one time we're sitting there and we're in the cabana, and all of a sudden, and you just hear this kid laughing. And I look at the guy next to me, the guy in the cabana next to me, and he looks back at me, and we were so both irate just at the same time, like, what is happening to our world? And there's this little kid, and his father's holding his hand, and they're just walking along the beach, and the kid's splashing around. And they must have walked like 6 miles down the beach to get to this resort, because there is no other, resort anywhere near there. And I just remember, like, we just looked around like, security, there's a 6-year-old having fun. But anyway, that's my adults only Dominican Republic story.
My father-in-law was recently on a cruise where they did like an excursion into one of those like resorts, basically, and he was, if you knew my father-in-law, this would probably make more sense, but he just wandered into a private cabana and started talking to people. Like just went in like it was like a bar into somebody's private cabana and just treated it like it was nothing. And we're like, dude, like, how does this shit keep happening?
Chatty people drive me crazy.
And yes, he would be the one that would have my son with him, ruining your experience.
Oh my God. No, I mean, but it was just so minor. But when you're so used to just not hearing any kids ever, it was just such an outrage for that 10 seconds as they walked by.
The nerve. Shoo those street urchin away.
Oh, I wish I knew that sound.
Oh man. No, to get back to the Flash movie, I thought it was good. It wasn't great. Was it the best DC movie I ever saw? No. Was it the worst DC movie I ever saw? No. That James Gunn is full of shit. That's all I got to say.
And definitely not the best comic book movie ever made. I don't know where that, I mean, obviously that was the hype engine going. But,
right.
No. And I was somebody who said in multiple places that I did like it. I did like it.
Yeah.
I agree with AB where me liking something doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
It just means I like it.
It's far from perfect. I mean, far from perfect.
I am going to be watching this movie regardless of any of the comments I read or whatnot, because that's me. I'm going to watch everything DC.
Yeah,
like even down to CW. I mean, I've watched everything all the way up to the latest Gotham Knights.
Oh, you poor bastard!
I know, I'm such a poor bastard, right?
Glutton for punishment over there.
I just feel bad.
But I'm definitely going to watch it. No, this is probably why.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I am a big DC fan, but yeah, there's certain things I won't watch everything, but everything in the cinemas, everything movie wise, I will always watch that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to defend Gotham Knights on this. All right, they have a pretty badass talent. The Court of Owls is utilized pretty well in that show.
I like the way they use, like, I've watched Gotham Knights. It's not the greatest thing ever, and it's not the worst thing ever. My biggest problem with Gotham Knights is that some of the main characters don't really even exist in DC, which is
Turner.
Yeah, like that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But I won't say I'm not entertained for an hour, because they do play the Court of Owls mystique and storyline very well in it. I just don't like the fact, like, I like shows where, like, you can see, like, either origin stories or, things where who the characters are and they're showing you how they became who they became. And in this case, some of them, yes, but the main character doesn't exist in DC anywhere.
No.
And the thing was, there's no reason for that is the main annoying thing. I think any DC fan, and that's the reason I won't watch it, is Damian Wayne fucking exists.
Right.
Yeah.
So use Damian fucking Wayne.
Right.
Like, why are you creating a whole new character when you could just use Damian Wayne and stick within the confines of DC, make his fans happy, and make casual viewers just as happy too? Because
they don't care
they're
what
not
the
going to
name
know
is.
the difference.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like there's like I think one of the characters in Gotham Knights ends up being spoiler. Like they're like you can hear the names and you're like, okay. So then I Google freaking what's his name, and it's like there's nothing.
There's nothing.
And I'm just like, okay, so normally I don't know who the characters are. Generally on the Batman ones I do because I've heard all of the names. But like to Turner Wayne or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he doesn't exist anywhere other than in this TV show. To Zach's point, it's pretty easy just to give them a name of someone that did exist.
Yeah. Now, in all fairness, and I will say this, I realized this as we were discussing the topic, Jordan Kent doesn't exist in the DC universe either, but I am a big fan of Superman and Lois. So in all fairness, maybe I will give Gotham Knights a chance. To me, it was so crazy because there's so many Robins. Like with Superman, they created an extra son and made twins, and for whatever reason decided not to give Jonathan the powers. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
that's creative changes, but it's close enough that I can get over it. My problem with this one is how many goddamn Robins have there been that have been wards of Bruce Wayne? Like you've got a literal Bat family of people that you could pick from that could have been the star of that show and not have to create a whole new character. That's the problem I have with it. Feature the members of the Bat family who do need attention, that haven't gotten as much of a focus. Make Spoiler the focus of the show so more people get aware of Stephanie Brown. Like that becomes a more interesting character for more people, and it feeds into the fan service for the DC audience that is following. So I don't know.
But it is a very good Court of Owls storyline. It's done very well from that perspective, from a Court of Owls perspective. The bad guys in this one are fun.
Yeah, they are.
And Duella Dent's pretty good in it. But,
at the same time, I think my wife even mentioned it. She's like, it feels like a DC Comics version of Riverdale. That's what it feels like. It feels like she saw one episode. She's like, I already watched this stuff.
And it looks like Retpmus joined us a little late. Retpmus, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. I'm here.
I'm hoping you were getting some sleep.
I was.
Great.
I was actually sleeping, and I woke up. My wife was like, "Don't you have a show? You better get your ass in there." I looked at my phone, and Sekju was like, "Wake up!" I was like, "Oh crap."
I'm just glad you were getting some rest. If there's one guy that's earned it, it's you. So
yes, I did. Thank you.
All right, back to Riverdale.
What did Archie do to Veronica? I don't.
Yeah. No.
He slept with Betty, so that's why. This week.
Oh. God.
So I guess Turner is Archie, huh?
I think I could possibly watch this show if at some point they introduce a hooch to go with Turner.
Well, that's probably one of the main reasons it was canceled. It's because it wasn't. They tried to make it relatable to that genre because I guess Riverdale's ending, or it's on its last season, or it ended already. So they wanted to have something that picked up and grabbed that demographic, but yet they're trying to use the DC nostalgia to pull that crowd in. And thought they would have an instant hit. That's what it looked like they were going by.
Retpmus, see the whole Riverdale comment. I was just kidding, but you're actually being serious.
I'm being serious. Yeah.
Wow.
See, I feel like
that's how my wife called it out like that.
It is like that because I've watched Riverdale because I love the Archie comic books, and it is very loosely based on it. And the later seasons actually start going into more like comic book lore, where they introduce like Sabrina to the storyline, and they have. Some of them have superpowers and stuff like that. So they actually switch to like a comic book side, and they go into the multiverse and stuff like that. And it got kind of cool. But the earlier seasons, it was plain CW teen drama. Yeah. And it later on is when it changed.
See, I think this show that they canceled that was supposed to be like Jon Stewart's almost like a Titans Academy or whatever. They had a show like that was being put in the works that got canceled. I feel like that was going to be the Riverdale essentially, but whatever, it's all canceled now.
Like Titan High.
And as I was bitching about yesterday, they're going to fucking ruin Superman and Lois. Zuzu disagrees, but I think that I think firing the entire supporting cast and having some of them come as like what 1 or 2 episodes next season is going to be significantly impactful on that show.
I think it will be fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh boy.
They will be able to focus on the main character story arcs, and it won't be spread thin. So they'll have to focus more, and the stories will have to deliver a lot more because there's only a few characters that it's going to be spread across, instead of taking the storyline and go, well, this week let's do Lana, and then let's do her daughter, then let's do John, then let's do Jonathan, Jordan, and let's do, Lana's husband's tragedy. They kept spreading it so thin between all these characters. Now, if they're all gone and they only have the centric base characters, then that's who they're going to focus on. And I think it'll be better character development.
And it's kind of going back to the roots, Superman versus Lex.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody really is going to focus on and really going to want to see every single episode.
I just don't like it also being shortened too, because again, I don't feel like the last 3 seasons felt like a lot of filler. I know that there were a couple filler episodes in there for sure, but it didn't feel like the show was built around a ton of filler. And it just, I don't know. I care about the supporting characters, whether you're right that they'll be able to focus more on Jonathan and Jordan and all them, but the supporting characters are important to the Kents and important to the whole story structure, in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, because Michael Cudlitz did a really good job introducing himself as Lex Luthor. I am excited to see that. So we'll see. But I'm trepid.
An earlier comment you made, Sekju, about accepting it, whatnot. Fine, I accept the fact that Jordan has powers, but I still think it's bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jonathan should be the powered one.
I would agree with that. Yeah, as I watched the show myself, and I think Jonathan should have been the one with the powers, but whatever.
I gave Sekju a theory of what could happen. Like, I'm hoping. Remember in Superman 2, Quest for Peace, Superman or Clark loses his powers for Lois to become human, right? I'm kind of hoping Jordan goes through that little sick moment again, and then he has to lose his powers, and Jonathan takes it from him.
See, I was hoping that it would go where, as the story progresses, that Jordan becomes Superboy Prime, and Jonathan develops his powers to take him down.
Did you see that look he gave his dad, man? I was hoping he'd deck his dad. Oh my God!
Wow.
Well, we all know, even in DCL, John is the best Superboy.
I think that might be debatable.
Oh, I love riling people up on that one.
I do love both of them. I love them.
No,
both.
I do. I'm actually coming around on Connor. Based on some recent comps that our good friend Wally Ball has shared and helped with some of these difficult teams that we're seeing. I've been using Connor a ton. I still use John more, and John still is the best Superboy in the game.
All right. Well,
don't
on that
at
note,
me, people.
on that note, I think maybe we should get into some DCL. I think finally it's time we do that. There's the gong. The gong has spoken.
Wow, that's a late gong.
It is a late gong.
You got to understand how skilled I am at transitions.
I'm going to hold you to that now. For the rest of the time we're on this show, transitions are up to you, buddy.
Okay.
No, let's talk a little bit about DCL. And I'll start specifically by starting with the Siege. I know the Siege has been a real pain in the pain in the ASS hole. Explain this to me. What went wrong? What happened?
I mean, I've had a really easy Siege.
Okay. Well, then maybe I'm getting.
And I've had a very difficult Siege.
Wrong information. So what makes it so?
I've had a super easy one.
Yeah, no, I've had a hard time.
What's happening?
Well, no, nothing. I mean, I'm like 160 right now. It's not like.
Well, then how is that horrible?
Well, no, but generally I'd be
normally 150.
I'm like, oh no,
no. Generally
I'd be like, yeah.
No, generally I'd be around like 120th right now, and right now I'm 160th. What I'm saying is, it's been okay. I have Siege crutches. Like, I use a lot of Martian Manhunter and a lot of Dr. Poison in Siege.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay, so I'm not ashamed of it. I like quality of life. I like them nice and easy. I like to make sure Martian Manhunter, Dr. Poison, 1 or 2 bonus, and I just wipe. So with 2 of the people I use the most,
they're gone.
It forced me to be more creative, which by the way was not a bad thing. As I mentioned before, Wally helped me with a lot of them that I actually considered refreshing a few times this season. Actually, I did refresh once for the first time since Siege came about. I refreshed a board because I was so annoyed at what some of these twats are putting out there. And the problem is, so then you get a loss, and the further I got from the top, the harder it became. When I started off in the top 50, it was easy. But then as soon as I got one loss, and then I got a loss plus a +3 one day, and all of a sudden now I'm in 180, and oh boy, people in that neck of the woods, fucking go kill yourselves. Like with the teams they're putting out there. I mean, please, like just stop it with these teams. Like if you really think, and I remember one person a ways back tried to use the argument that the reason I do so good in Siege is my defense board. Oh, shut up. Like just win the matches. try to get creative and use a few bonus. And but again, as we've always talked about, Sekju, we've all talked about this, is win the match first. But yeah, it's just been I've had to be more creative. That's all. And by the way, I don't care. As long as I get top 210, I could care less.
I just think some of these people don't like us, and they hear us say, like, please just use the bonus comps. And they're like, oh, AAD. You know what? Fuck those guys. Here comes some Enchantress, some Trigon, some Parasite. Let me think. How about Cheshire? Okay.
No. Let's make sure Cyborg Superman's in there too, so we can just completely wreck everything.
By the way, I think there's
blues and a Cyborg Superman just to destroy all your reds.
I think there are
That's
people.
how I roll in Siege. I'm not scared to bring like a wrong affinity against people and just fuck around.
So how do you guys feel about crypto? How do you guys feel about crypto?
He exists.
Yeah, I don't use him much. I don't like him that well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
I have him R4 right now, so
he's just okay.
I have him L3 and 80 and ringed, and I don't know. He just doesn't do what you want him to do, I guess. I don't want to use him in lead. The thing is, I have other people I want to use in lead. His lead isn't attractive enough for me to want to bring him as lead. If he did what he did without having to be a leader, I think he'd be way better. I think he'd easily be like considered B tier if he just did what he did as an off lead, but he doesn't. So
he's a bad dog. He's a bad dog.
Yeah, I'm not really going to use him either, but I am excited to make him my 100th RB1.
Wow,
that is cool.
Yeah.
Now you can maybe consider an RB2.
He's more nostalgia for me. He's not about the game. He's
Right.
more like a collector's item for me.
Kind of the same for me. I mean, it's Superman's dog, and Superman's my favorite character across anything. So I must have his dog at least RB1.
And he is, the first official pet.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
So
the first one.
We're getting pretty close to having an all monkey team.
oh my
You can
god.
kinda
All
do one
monkey
already.
team.
You can do
Oh
one.
yeah,
Beast Boy.
Yeah,
with who?
With who?
Archie.
Beast Boy.
Beast
Beast
Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Beast Boy.
You can use Beast Boy, Detective Chimp is coming,
Grodd.
Monkey Prince, and Grodd.
Grodd. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if Arcus factors in there.
Is he
I don't know
more of a
what he is.
dog?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he?
Well, once again,
I
he's
don't
a
know what
pet.
he is.
Is
Is he a pet? I mean, he's an alien.
He's a raccoon with.
What Green Lantern is he the pet of?
Right, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
He kind of reminds me of like the Wolfman, like the old Universal.
Yeah,
film
like a
Wolfman.
dog, like a wolf man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only had a couple appearances. That's the weird thing about why he's even in the game to begin with, because he's such an obscure character that's had like no major significance in DC Comics or even in the War of Light or Blackest Night. Like, I like that he exists because he's awesome, but why the fuck is he in this game? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, we can make that case on, I think, a
lot of characters, but like,
Yeah.
But I mean, there are other Green Lanterns that had an impact in the storyline that this game is based around that were even introduced after Arcus, and you're just like.
And by the way,
how did
Arcus is not new either.
I know, that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying.
so
Like,
that's
oh,
why
he
has
was-
he been around so early, and why was he one of the first inclusions? I don't get it, but he's not a pet.
Yeah, he's another one of those OGs.
I don't think he's like ape based either. I mean, maybe
No.
I'm wrong. I don't know. He could be.
No. But
Where the
back
fuck is
on...
lurking? Someone, can we get lurking on speed dial?
Yeah, who knows?
He's in the middle of a push to get G8
On his Jay Garrick. He's jealous of Wally's now. I can't wait for the fuck you guys in the chat.
Anywho, so now that we've got crypto out of the way, is there anybody else that you want to talk about? I mean, I guess I'm kind of at a loss as to what we talk about. I gotta tell you, I've been moving the last 2 weeks. I've been out of the loop on fucking everything.
I think Jace is pretty awesome.
Is that Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
Not future Batman.
Jace is another great disease counter alternate. He's if you don't have, like, say, Parasite, use Jace. Jace will clean your whole team.
And I'm shocked at the level of damage he does at L5.
Oh yeah.
So I have added him to my RB list just because of that. I mean, he's been actually he's the reason why that Siege became easier as time went on, as I put him in there. I mean, against those blue disease teams, like Zuzu said, like, you know, Hal Jordan, Question, Connor, and Jace have just destroyed all of them. Trigon gone, Parasite gone, Enchantress gone. Like, it's I've been really surprised. Like, I want to do once we get back in the swing of things, I want to have everyone for one episode bring their list of, like, top 3 people that they believe benefit from Rebirth for various reasons, whether it be more tanky, more power, or whatever the case may be. Because I think we'd all have a lot of great ideas for the community to, you know, and I know on one of the servers, they were asking us to do that. I think Jace is one of those that will benefit from it, because when I see the damage he does at L5, I'm like, oh boy, and he's tanky. He's tanky and does damage. So a perfect Rebirth candidate and a Batman that we can use. How about that?
Right.
And he actually pairs great with the other rework of the month, Zod, which, I mean, again, Jace was so good. I think Zod's being slept on a little bit, even though he's pretty awesome too. Like, the fact that Jace's basic goes 3 times gives you 3 chances at landing a critical hit, which under Zod's lead is going to clear out all their immunities. So, like, the 2 of them paired together is amazing. And they're both special damage. So when Zod uses his 2 to share all that in, you're already ramping Jace. So his basic that usually hits 3 times. I very rarely see it only hit twice. They just pair so well together. And then it cleans all the immunities off. And you can fucking wreck the team at that point. Even if there's another Jace on the other side, you clear his death immunity and he's fucking dead. So it's great. I hope he gets the 6th day, because he has definitely jumped my list of priorities, and I would certainly farm his shards to at least RB3, if not RB5.
I tell you what, whenever I'm fighting the enemy team, it seems like he has permanent death immunity on. Does that happen to you guys? I mean, seriously, it's like, come on, drop off. Why is it still in there?
Yeah, no, he does. But I mean, unfortunately, like, again, you get stuck in a lot of those mirror comps in Siege. So one that I'm sure everyone has seen, this one is Atros, Supergirl, Spectre, Jace. That one is all over my fucking boards like crazy, and for good reason, because you can beat it with the exact same mirror lineup very easily. But that's like the easiest way to get rid of Jace's death immunity is, again, Spectre. You know, or any of those guys that clear all the buffs. Awkward silence.
Yeah, no. I was just going to add, so I've been answering messages here, but where did BIFF go? Did he disappear into the void or something?
I think I think the red phone rang.
Oh, yes.
The red phone
Commissioner
rang.
Gordon.
I think I saw him slide down a pole. Oh, no.
Yeah, there he goes. He's not wearing a costume.
What I meant.
Damn. That was disappointing.
I was mixing a drink.
Oh,
that was the obvious answer.
What do you mean mixing? No. What do you mean mixing a drink? You mean pouring ice into a glass of gin?
Yeah.
That's mixing a drink.
Mixing a drink.
Jesus.
But I think I saw something in the chat. Satan was bringing up about ZOD and whether we were going to talk about his raid potential. And I mean, he's definitely worth looking at. That given that he can sit in that leader spot, and you can throw any other multiplier under him. He's going to continue to stack continuous in ups permanently. I mean, all the pieces are there to make him someone to consider looking at, but as always, on paper, we don't know how it's going to work out until there's actually a raid. So, fortunately, we have one of those this week, and he's a 2x, so he's even worth checking for other reasons.
Well, what that also means that we have to wait another month before we decide if he's raid essential, because of 2 times we can't judge it.
You can get a pretty good idea sometimes that you just chop the damage in half. Yeah. We'll see.
But yeah, he has the potential.
Yeah.
I mean, him being a green toon, is he going to be worth more than day 2?
Well, that's what
I know that depends. We'll have to see. We'll have to see like what he does as far as taking down the level 68 red bosses. If he does something that makes them go down faster, then that could be something to look at, but something we have to test.
It's like Katana making the greens go down quicker. But it's funny, last raid, so we deemed Katana very quickly as a raid essential for what you get to level 90s, and then last raid we get a lowest 5 times and we don't even use it.
I mean, the lowest 5 times.
No, I know. No, I know. But it's funny that when you get some of these multipliers that just that delay figuring out what these raid essentials are. And by the way, we still haven't updated our graphic on our raid essentials. We did the raid essential show, but we never updated our website or our graphic.
So how many tunes do you guys have?
I don't even remember.
8?
Let's go back.
I think it was maybe 7. I don't know.
I think Whitty's keeping track of that stuff. She's the expert.
Well, we have the episode. So when we want to redo the graphic, we can just go back to the episode.
I was trying to cast blame on Whitty. Thanks, guys. No, I'm teasing. That's another thing we got to get hopping on.
Well, it's also are we going to do a new graphic that Retpmus is going to do, or are we going to just go back to Moomin and have him update our earlier graphic? So we have to make that decision too.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to chain Retpmus to the ore for anything.
Whatever graphic we do, we need Scott,
no, see, I always like nominating Retpmus because he's got nothing going on. He's got no projects. Or he's busy.
Yeah, I'm a slacker.
Well, he said he was sleeping earlier, so
but now we should wait until at the end of next month so we can test ZOD. Yeah, and we can verify Katana. We can verify Katana, make sure that was all on the up and up. And then check, have 1 month of a non-bonus for ZOD. And then we'll figure out who's going to do the graphic, and
works for
me.
See
if Moomin's open helping, or
works for me. One of the things.
No, but that's the old graphic.
Yeah.
We took the old picture over. Yeah.
We had the situational category added.
Yeah. But we took people off. We lost more people than we added.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was just going off what we had.
Right. And we didn't, and that was before Katana, so we didn't add Katana. So we'll redo it.
Yeah.
We'll get the graphic updated. And we got to redo Nightmare too.
Speaking of possibly good raid tunes, what about Crush? I haven't geared her and I haven't used her at all. I don't have faith in her.
I mean, we rarely have faith in any of the multipliers, but given that some of her kit has bleeds, that's already 1 strike against her because bleeds don't do anything to raid bosses. I have her at L4. She's going to be at L5 tonight. I just kind of built her because she was the new character this month, and I already had both reworks, and I was obviously going to build Crypto too. So I don't know. Maybe I should play with her more and see what she's got going on, but I don't know. I don't see what she would bring to the table in raids that Lois isn't going to do better.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of bleeds and, disease, how they do not work on bosses. And I understand that, if you had an ability that does, let's just say 3% damage, and you stack on 10 of those, that's 30% of that boss's damage gone. I mean, that's an insane amount of damage, right?
Right.
And I understand why they do that. All they have to do is make the damage contingent upon the source. So if I attack with Trigon, whatever Trigon's health is, it's 3% of his health is the damage that disease will do. Same thing for bleeds. If you're, I don't know, a bleeder, let's say Red Hood, if it does 3 or 5%, that would be 3 or 5% of his health is what the damage does each time. So it's contingent upon who applies it, and that's how much damage it does. And then that way it would be a legitimate hit in the game and can completely work with every boss. And that would be super easy to program. It's keep track of one variable. That's all it has to do. When you apply
trying to get them to put new stuff in the game.
When you apply the scam, it says minus 3%, and they can have a variable equals this value, and it's so easy to do.
I already see 17 new bugs.
And by the way, it's really easy to fix the fact that John Kent's animation goes over everyone's head too, but they don't.
Yeah.
I just view it as super powerful heat vision. It's like, holy shit, look at that blast.
I don't know. It just seems so lazy. Oh, well, let's just make moves that everybody is dependent upon not work.
Right.
That's just a lazy cop out.
Well, by the way, look at Cyborg Superman not being able to be healed.
His life bar is
the same thing.
A shield. Think about it. His life bar is really a shield.
No, I understand, but I don't even think I ever even realized that until I was doing red alerts the other day, and I was starting with Lex and 4 greens against a red team, and at the end of it, I'm like, why isn't Cyborg Superman overhealed? I don't get it. What happened? I was like, what's going on? I didn't even realize it.
That's funny.
And then I read the kit. I'm like, oh, that's why.
Doesn't he sometimes he occasionally has the tiniest little slice of overheal, though. Have you ever noticed that?
I have not, but I've never paid attention until recently.
It does glitch. I think it's when he gets so many of the what was it, agility ups or whatever. I forget which one that is. Not agility.
Stamina?
Yes. I think it's when he gets so many stamina up and it takes his life bar over what it should be. It keeps that calculated if he gets hit afterwards. So when it drops off, then it'll have that as an overheal instead by mistake.
Okay. So it's more of a visual bug sort of thing? Okay.
Yeah. Many other.
We don't need to give Cyborg Superman any more tankiness.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
I'm fine where he is.
Yeah, I mean, I even have him RB5, and I don't want him any more tanky. No. It's a fucking pain in the ass to deal with too. So.
Oh yeah. No, he is. He's the one. We talk about these Enchantress and the teams that are hard to deal with. When I see him in lead, I'm actually more worried because he's him with a bunch of blues. You see. Reds are just dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I have an RB5 Darkseid and an RB5 Etrigan, so I see Cyborg Superman in lead, and I go,
Yeah. Well, no, I have an RB5 Darkseid too.
Yeah.
He's, he can cause havoc to team with any Reds around.
Well, and plus you like your evaders, and he's can't miss all over the place. So obviously that affects you.
Well, he's one of the ones where you just can't do it. You just can't bring that team. It just doesn't make any sense. And I've found now that with, so I made a believe it or not, this week I made a top 100 run for Wraith. And by the way, all those people that do that on a weekly basis. Let me just tell you, I don't know if everyone wants Monkey Prince or not, but the fact I had 1200 PvP energy just said, hey, listen, I'm unemployed. I don't got a lot going on. I got all this energy. I love Monkey Prince. Let me just do a top 100. That is a grind. I don't know if this week's scores are up versus other weeks because I don't pay attention, but oh boy. For those of you that think it's skill that wins you that thing, it isn't. It's time. It's just you having time on your hands.
Pure time.
And
That
it
is
is
how Biff went through an extra fifth of gin this week.
oh my god, it was just brutal. By the way, I
Yeah.
cleared 2 boards today, and I went from 71st to 69. It's like, oh come
It's insane.
on.
Well, it's because you're
I
at the
started
tail end, and all the sandbaggers are grinding harder right now. So you're going to have to really keep it up today
right.
and
But
tomorrow.
so I started saying all I was going to use for the whole week was going to be Batgirl, Eclipso, Monkey Prince, and Jesse Quick, and I was going to clear every board with that. And I was doing it. I probably cleared 12 straight boards with just that team, with using no one else. Cyborg Superman was the biggest problem.
Mhm.
Luckily, RB4 Eclipso hits pretty hard, where I can get him, where I could deal with some, but then all of a sudden I was like, okay, the 43,000, what's it called? HRO teams, they could clip my wings a little bit and end up giving me like a +5 or a +3 or something like that. So I was like, you know what? I have to, quality of life. I got to start using other teams just to fire through these boards.
Well, fortunately, that Wally team is really solid for getting through boards as well. Like it's helpful to clear a lot of those pain in the ass teams that you can't use your Eclipso team against.
Right. So it's been fun. I enjoy PvP now more because I can actually use characters I like. And then when I can't, I can use Martian Manhunter, Poison, Darkseid, and ZOD and just nuke teams in one shot.
He's right. You can use a lot more niche characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, even though PvP has its moments of being intolerable, I do feel like it is loosening up a little bit more recently. Like I just feel like when my boards reset, I am seeing a bit more variety. I'm still seeing 5 Atro leads, for the most part, but I am seeing fewer Enchantress. I am seeing a couple other random like mixes out here. I'm starting to see SS Lex with Dawnstar and Cheshire again, which is at least different. So, I don't know. I feel maybe I'm just being optimistic, but I feel like things have been loosening up a little bit from, 9 out of 10 teams being Atro Supergirl Brainiac.
That's why the other day I showed you that the screenshots of my PvP board, and I was all excited and whatnot. You called it a weird flex, but
Yeah.
I was excited because like I do these PvP challenges, and I used to do them by themes like Titans and Legion of Doom, whatever. And seeing something like that, like it opens that opportunity for me.
Yeah.
It makes it fun for everybody. So
It's
that's
still a weird
why
flex.
it is a weird flex. But I did not see one Atro on that board, and I was like, wow.
It's a good reason to be
amazing.
excited, for sure.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot in the top 100. I've been getting a lot of bot boards,
Yeah.
or half bot boards.
That's
So
cool.
that's been cool. Super Grill, let's go.
And so I wanted to quickly jump in here and ask, before we run out of too much more time, let's look ahead a little bit at Detective Chimp and Dr. Destiny. They've just been announced recently. We don't have their kits yet. Is that correct?
Right, that's coming.
Yeah. So we can't really speculate on a whole lot, but I did want to kind of ask you guys. I have no idea who the hell Detective Chimp is. I mean, I know who Dr. Destiny is, right? That's an easy one, at least for me. But
I am the exact opposite of you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I had no idea who Dr. Destiny was. I remembered him from like CW because Sekju pointed him out
Oh, yeah.
to me the other day, but that's all I know him for.
Right.
Detective Chimp I've seen in the comics, but he's still pretty
Yeah.
obscure to me.
I mean, he was back in the 50s, actually, is when
he's old
Detective
school.
Chimp. Yeah, he's real old, AB.
Wow. Older than me?
He was in the 50s.
Yeah. Maybe.
Wow. No, he's older than me then, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely older than him if it was the 50s. What does he hit people with his magnifying glass or something? I don't know.
No, he has like magical powers, doesn't he, Retpmus?
Well, he's mystic.
Or like magic based.
I don't remember all his powers.
I know he's super intelligent, so I'm sure he's going to
Right.
have something dealing
He-
with lots
I
of
mean, it's nothing like no. I don't think he has any special physical strength or anything like that, other than the strength of a chimpanzee.
right.
Which will still fuck you up.
I'm thinking his character is going to be probably like intelligence down, intelligence up type character is what I'm thinking he'll probably be based off of.
Yeah.
Or true sight, because his magnifying glass will probably
Detective, yeah.
you'll probably throw true sight on him. I don't really remember his abilities. I just remember him being a detective, solving crimes. He was supposed to be like on par, if not better than Batman.
Yeah, he's like hyper intelligent.
Right.
But I think his intelligence comes from magic.
Intel ups and downs is a given. I mean, that's basically his ability. It's enhanced intelligence, magically enhanced intelligence.
And didn't he work with Justice League Dark and like John Constantine and like that whole group of people too? I think
he's been in the house.
Yeah. The house.
He's been in that house. That was it. What's it called again?
Mystery
House.
Yeah, Retpmus is the guy. That those ones.
The House of Mystery. Yeah, he's been in that house.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a ton about him, but I am interested in.
I just checked. He does have powers. They were granted to him by the helmet of Dr. Fate.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, well, now you have to RB5 him, Retpmus.
Synergy.
That's right. That's a grind for you, buddy. You got a long haul.
You want me to spend all my hard-earned gems, man?
No, I don't want you to. I'm just suggesting it because he's a Dr. Fate guy.
Look at that. Dr. Fate. They finally got a good detective in DCL.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Next month, Dr. Occult.
Yes.
The reworks guys, Lex Assault Warsuit and Hawkman.
Yes. I remember when Lex Assault Warsuit was good. A big bad. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nuker, man.
Yeah.
I've played him during like bonus tune days for Alliance and whatnot. He can still hit, but the problem is you can't get him out the gate. You can't give him the chance to do it.
Yeah.
Not with this meta. He's done. He's done before you even get that chance.
And he used to be tanky, and now he's not.
And I always hated his one ability started on cooldown. What was up with that?
Oh yeah.
He was like the only, and then when you got the ability finally and you were able to do it, and he shot the electric all across the whole entire field, it didn't hardly do any damage. So you waited like all this time, round after round, trying to get him, to cool down to do that move. And you're like, what? It should do something like Supergirl's eye beams, it should do devastating damage.
Yeah.
Or like Cyborg Superman's third, but maybe toned down a little bit if it's
yes. But I mean, it was weaker than his A1.
Crazy. Well, hopefully they fix that.
Well, the good news is I might have seen I might have peeked a little bit in some chat that Lex is probably going to be the better of all four of these tunes between the reworks and new tunes.
Good, I'm ready.
I did see some whispers of that too, that he may or may not be colorblind. I can't remember. I don't know what the source of that is, but I saw it being chatted about.
Well, it's a lot of speculation because it's on paper. Paper always is nice.
Of course.
Paper.
Of course.
Yeah,
paper.
on paper.
Now,
this
the other
over
rework,
there.
Hawkman. I mean, here's the guy that desperately needs one for one thing. He used to, again, during raids, he kind of was okay as the 3X, but that was basically the only time that guy was useful. Hopefully they do something to make him a little more practically useful. But I don't know.
Convoluted has him as a raid essential, so.
Fair. I actually, he was actually my very first Rebirth tune. He was the first character I had enough shards of, because when I came back to the game and I was playing catch up, I didn't know what characters sucked and didn't suck, and I bought a bunch of Aqualad packs, and I had all these gems, so I bought Hawkman too, and ended up with all these Hawkman shards, and I was like, well, shit, this is the only guy I have enough shards to do a Rebirth with when I finally got there, so he was my first Rebirth.
Does everyone here remember their first RB character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their first RB5?
No.
Yes.
I remember I can give you my first RB5 and I can give you my first Rebirth. My first Rebirth was Wonder Woman POT.
Gotcha.
You mentioned that before.
My first RB5 was Batgirl.
Oh, cool.
What about yours, Sec? Do you remember?
First Rebirth again, Hawkman. And then my first RB5 was Darkseid.
Darkseid, nice.
Sweet. That was my last RB5 right now.
First Rebirth, Damian Wayne, Robin, and me. I don't go past RB1, so.
Maybe soon, though, now that you're at 100.
You guys have fun with all that.
It's a new era for Zuzu. He's got 100 rebirths. It's time.
Yeah, but that's all. He's still got 60 more to go.
You guys would never guess
still got
mine.
60 more to go.
Well, what was yours, Rat?
Hired Gun Deadshot was my first
Oh.
RB because I loved him back in the day when
Yeah?
he would let everybody do crit hits, automatic. So I chose him as my first RB. And my first RB5 was Hal Jordan.
Nice.
Not bad.
By the way, he needs
Classic Silver Ranger.
he needs a stat boost or something because he's got the old my POT syndrome before POT got a stat boost. So I had her RB, and I think I had 30 plus L4s above her on the rank. But when they gave her a stat boost, she moved up to hang out with all my other RBs. But Hal Jordan now is the one that lags like 30 people behind my gold borders. But Hal Jordan's only RB1 for me.
Yeah, but if you give him a stat boost, I mean, is that just for the tankiness? Because he's still fairly tanky, even where he is. Does it really help him with his strength?
I don't know. No, I'm just talking about moving him up my board.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not even talking about
Like,
usefulness. How many stat boosts do we get that don't mean shit anyway?
Fair enough.
Just I hate when one gold border is 45 characters behind the last gold border,
I get what you're saying.
Poor Clayface. Poor Clayface.
One thing that does annoy me a lot is like, here's an example. I mean, this happens a lot. Hal Jordan's one of them, but like, let's say Nightwing, for example. All right. You get down to like a Nightwing versus Parasite. All right. You lose, even though he has a stronger affinity because his A1 is so weak when it hits that it does no damage. He actually heals way higher than you can hit for. Same with like Hal Jordan. A lot of people's A1s are so low. It's like, I think when they hit, it's like 1,000 to 3,000 damage for an A1. And I mean, that's like unbelievably weak. I mean, they need to be they need to be at least 5 or 6 on a basic, somewhere around in their average, because their big nuker abilities, which is usually their third, they can do anywhere from 40,000 to 60 plus thousand, and then if you have stats boosted on that, they can get up to hundreds of thousand. But like their A1s are really, really sad on a lot of characters. And Brainiac's also one of them. His A1 is so weak. It's just like he's pea shooting them.
I feel
how about Hal Jordan's one?
Sorry.
Yeah, I said that one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like the worst.
You get about 1,000 damage, 2,000 if you're lucky.
And hope he has shield, so there's a call assist with someone that can actually hit someone.
It should be at least something like, if no shield, he can do like double damage. If he has a shield, then call assist and do the normal damage. Something simple like that, but it's weak.
But don't you feel like that's the case for most support characters? I mean, like look at the SAT. He hits like 700 on his
doesn't hit anything.
Yeah. I guess that's true too.
I do love that it looks like he's just barely tickling, and that's basically the damage.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm gonna get you.
I had ZOD kill a blue the other day with his basic. I was like, whoa, what just fucking happened?
Well, the life bar had to be so
no, I know,
point,
obviously, but I still didn't expect it. I was trying to figure out who I wanted it to call assist to, and then I just saw the drop. I was like, whoa, surprise! ZOD killed somebody.
And yet he is still a tune that you see a lot of in PvP.
Absolutely.
That's utility, man. I mean, that ability to clear all buffs and stun, I mean, that's a good move.
You very rarely see him by himself. It's always the dark side.
Yep. Martian Manhunter, dark side, ZOD, and poison.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Come bring it. Come bring it, Enchantress.
Oh my God. Well, listen, guys, let's think about wrapping this thing up. And we'll take it around the horn, and we'll start with Retpmus. Take us to church, pal.
Oh, I just want to thank everybody, for being here today. Sorry I, jumped in late. I just want to tell everybody, take a little bit of time and just appreciate your friends and the ones you have around you, because they're the most important things in your life. Without them, you would pretty much live a life of solitude. And it's never healthy to do that, even though sometimes you feel the best, like, oh, I just want to be left alone. No, I don't want anybody to bother me. We are social creatures, and it's been proven many times, that it's healthy you know, emotionally, physically, to have these friendships, relationships. So, you know, if you haven't talked to someone for a while, give them a quick buzz, say, hey, how you been, man? Haven't seen you, you know, or talked to you for a little bit. You know, just keep in touch, and just wish everyone the best.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as always, dude. Biff, tell us like it is, pal.
Yeah, so since we just talked about Hawkman rework, I was very pleased to get a tweet from my favorite toy company, figurestoycompany.com, the other day, that they have finally added the Super Friends version of Hawkman, which will make him the final figure to complete the Legion of Doom versus the Super Friends in the Challenge of the Super Friends. That was the only one that they had not made. So, AB, when we do our next wrestling bet, which is next Saturday, July 3rd, for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you for my Hawkman to complete my set of the Legion of Doom versus the Super Friends.
Oh, buddy. I'm looking forward to it. I have no idea who's even wrestling or who's on the card, so I guess I'll have to.
So, no, but it's one of the best pay-per-views of the year. It's Money in the Bank, where they
hang the ladder matches.
The suitcase, the contract, where they can cash in at any point of the year for a title match, for whatever title they want to go for. So two ladder matches, one female, one male.
Right.
They'll have some other matches in there too, but I believe it's in England. So I believe it's 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Like the afternoon?
Yeah.
All right.
So if anyone wants to come to our server to take a break from raids next week, if you're watching Money in the Bank, we'll have a live chat. And you can see if I get my Hawkman or not.
Or you'll see if I can make it 3-0.
Exactly. Or if we go, AB makes it 3 in a row.
Oh boy. Well, I'll have to do a little bit of homework. I can't guarantee results.
Just watch Monday and Friday, and you'll be all.
I'll be all right. Yeah. Okay.
And then what you do is you request Hawkman.
That's what I'll do, buddy.
If he wants Hawkman, that order will be for 2.
Wow, I get 2 Hawkman? All right. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I look forward to it, dude. I look forward to getting you a Hawkman. Thanks as always for being here. And next up, I see his name reading as Black Flash Sweet and High Substitute, aka Sekju. Tell us what's going down, buddy.
Well, first of all, again, I'm high as fuck, and I swear to God, I just saw Zuzu reenact the whole Blue Beetle end of the sequence trailer thing with his sword and then cut across the screen. Was I hallucinating, Zuzu? Did I see that?
You absolutely were not hallucinating, but you are sorely mistaken. Karate Kid.
Oh, fuck, my bad. No, I thought you were doing like a reenactment of the sword thing. I was distracted by many things. My wife came back from the beach last week and she brought back a hermit crab, whose name was Bilbo because he went on an unexpected journey. But basically, I was checking to see if he was still alive, and I turned back and saw you doing the slash thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Biff's talking about action figures and Hawkman.
I was trying to mentally prepare myself, because I don't want to choke and crash, so.
No, it's okay. I'm giving you that nice smooth lead in to you getting to give your last word by making a jackass of myself. So don't worry. You're good.
Oh, dudes.
So anyway, have fun. I was saying earlier, I think that the arenas are loosening up a little bit and that the game is getting to be a bit more fun. Biff was saying he's getting to play with the tunes he wants to play with, and I feel like after a lot of negative energy surrounding the game, we're kind of turning the corner to a bit more positivity heading into this raid, even though there was a lot of people that were very upset about the timeline between the last raid to this raid, me being one of them. So it just feels nice. It feels like the positive attitude has kind of returned to the community a little bit, because there was a lot of negativity there, justifiably, for a few days. And it's nice after getting away from that. They say that the old time heals all wounds, and the further we get away from that negativity, it just feels nicer in the community. Everybody's a little bit more friendly again in the chats. Yeah. So I enjoy that, and I I hope it continues, and I wish everyone the best in their raid efforts this week.
Fantastic. Listen, thank you, Sekju. We really appreciate it, buddy. Always a pleasure to have you. That brings us around to, last but not least, Zuzu78. I hear you got a few things you want to get off your chest and things you want to plug, buddy. Let us have it, pal.
I do, man. You know, I want to thank the community. You know, you guys make DCL free. You know, you guys make us stand out and make it all worth it, whatnot. Okay, so what I do have, and I'm excited to announce, and it's already been announced, everything's already signed up, things are ready to go, is that knockout tournament. People have seen my videos, and if you haven't seen my videos, I'm just going to say it here. It's a big tournament. We got 15 people signed up. We have big prizes. We have 2 monetary prizes. First place will be $100. Second place giving you $25. I've added additional prizes because, you know, I like to say that I'm going insane, whatnot. So I'm adding 2 Funko Pop figures, Wonder Woman Funko Pops, number 378 Wonder Woman and number 392 Red Sun Wonder Woman. The winner of the competition will be able to choose between one or the other, which leaves the other option to the second place winner. So both winners will be getting a Funko Pop. On top of that, I'm going crazy by giving off comic books. I posted out 7 images of comic book sets. The winner will be able to choose 1 set of those comic books. And on top of that, when I made my last video, I said there will be more, so there will be more. I just ordered a Wonder Woman Superpowers action figure, that 4-inch figure. The winner of the competition will also be getting that. And I'm really excited about this tournament, man. I've had some help with it. I'm excited about the names on the tournament. There are some good TOL winners on there. And on top of that, the TOL creator himself is going to be competing. Joshua Wars, he's going to be competing in the tournament. I am excited for that. And I want to also thank him too, because on the side, he's been giving me some tips on, you know, things I should do, what I shouldn't do, and whatnot. And it's really helped. So, Josh, if you are out there and you do hear this, man, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I want to wish everybody the best of luck on this tournament. I'm excited for it. It starts July 5th. It'll be about a 2-week thing. Oh, I can't wait. Let's go.
It sounds like fun to me. I bet you can't wait.
Some AAD representation.
By the way, we just had an absolute first on this show, a 1,500 shout out.
He is not. Look, he is not the only 1,500 on there. And I'm going to mention there are some owls from Atlantis, and everybody on there. You know, I'm grateful for everybody on there, but there are a couple of people inside and outside that tournament that have helped me with, you know, setting it up and whatnot, and I'm very appreciative of all of them. You know, and I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Well, based on the rewards, I'm gonna have to cheer for Whitty. So sorry, other AAD members, but Whitty needs to get her Amazonian swag.
I know. Yeah, I really want that. I really want that Red Sun Wonder Woman. That's awesome.
Got to come in second place.
Yeah, or I can win that bet with Biff, and he can just get it for me.
There it is.
I just said, first place will get its choice. First place will get their choice between those Wonder Womans.
Right.
Oh yeah, I fucked that up. My bad.
Second place will get the other one.
Right. Okay.
Be a perfect segue to come back to the game. with everything you have saved up, I mean, come on, that'd be easy win, right?
Yeah.
Zuzu. The next time
print up the rules, AB.
The next knockout tournament, we need Wonder Twins as rewards.
I already have a set for the next tournament.
Well, fine. The third one then. We just some way that's how we're going to lure AB back to the game. He's got Wonder Twins prizes, and he's going to be like, "Fuck, these will be mine."
No.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be Detective Chimp that got him.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh. When I see Detective Chimp, I think of that 70s show where all those chimpanzees were like, was it Sir Lancelot, I think? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was Lancelot was a knight at the round table. I don't know if you had a chimpanzee.
No. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting two things mixed up. But I remember there was a television show in the 70s where it was nothing but chimps, and they talked like with their mouths, and it was just dubbed.
See, I always think of the episode of the Venture Brothers where they have the chimp that wears the super intelligent hat, and whenever he takes the hat off, he becomes a regular chimp and starts throwing shit and everything, but he puts the hat on and he's, you know, super intelligent.
God.
I love that show.
Oh,
the only thing I could think of when AB was saying that was Planet of the Apes. It's the only thing I can
Yeah,
think
I
of.
mean, like I said, maybe I'm getting things mixed up in my head. I do that often. It just happens. It just happens.
He's been moving people.
I have been, yeah. It's been a tough.
Cut him some slack.
It's been a tough couple of weeks. I don't know how much shit we have until you move it. And the thing is, we got rid of shit when we moved, and I thought, oh, that's going to make moving easier. No. We got rid of shit only to move in here, and they're like, oh, we need to go get more shit. Not the same shit we threw away, but other shit.
Yeah, that's a wife trick, right?
Yeah.
We need this.
Oh my God, we just cleaned out our
Yeah.
house and got rid of so much junk, and so I actually had a hot tub in my garage. We got rid of that, so now I
Yeah.
actually have a garage.
Oh, nice.
That a car can go in, believe it or not. And next thing you know, after we got rid of all this stuff, I walk into the garage and there's this huge monstrosity of a dresser,
Mm-hmm.
a side table, and another dresser. They're all matching, like a
set.
like an antique bedroom set.
Yeah.
And it's huge. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that? and she's like, oh, well, we need it because we turned the craft room into a second bedroom. So now we need a bedroom set for that. I'm like, we just cleared out so much shit and you just gave us more. It's frustrating.
It is a trick. It's a fucking
it's a wife trick.
Yeah, it is a trick.
Let's clean out everything so I can bring more in.
Yep.
You know what I hate more?
It's what we call the okie doke.
What I hate more though, Biff, is the yard sale. The yard sale or the garage sale. To like going to clean stuff out, but then having to put it back when nobody fucking buys your shit because
Right.
nobody wants your shit. And every time it's like, let's do a yard sale. I'm like, oh no. And then she gets mad at me because I get all like negative, but I'm like, we never fucking sell anything. The only time we sold anything, people found like my old video game systems and boxes in my garage and like, well, will you sell us these?
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on it, but I guess here, have the Xbox, like whatever. I got rid of like all their shit, but like we didn't sell anything that was like sitting out that we wanted to sell. And then I still have all that shit. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh man.
She's like, let's have a yard sale. I'm like, how about we rent a Bagster instead?
God.
Yeah.
All of us are pack rats, I suppose. And
I would say, you know what I would do? Here would be my take if she wanted to have a yard sale.
Bonfire?
I'll pay for the dumpster. We take everything. You can tag it 5 cents, 25 cents, 40 cents, whatever. Tag it all. I'll throw it into the dumpster. And then I'll give you the $65 you were going to make from the yard sale.
oh,
Thank you. See, Biff knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, absolutely. Because listen, the time and effort and everything involved in that quote unquote day
Mm-hmm.
is so fucking painful.
yeah.
That you just, how much do you expect to make from this? $65, $70? Because you got to be realistic. You know, you're not making fucking $400 or anything like that.
Right.
So I'll pay you that. You knock them up, put the tags on, and I'll just throw it out and it'll be gone. And I promise you, we will sell everything.
Yeah.
There will be nothing left over.
Yes. That's my strategy next time it comes up. Next year. You have to remind me next year to say that verbatim.
My mom's family had an annual tag sale at my grandmother's house before she died. She lived to like 98. She was amazing. But this tag sale was 5 minutes from the Canadian border in Vermont. So what we did was we packed up numerous cars full of junk, drove it 5.5 hours to the Canadian border, and then didn't sell everything and had to bring it back. And you want to talk about a waste of time, effort, and a weekend. And a weekend. And this was when we first got married. So my wife agreed to it to make my mother happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Like you traveling
don't understand.
6 hours to sell a bunch of junk. Like, no, I could take care of that right here.
I'm with you in the dumpster. My time is way more valuable than selling that junk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I'm being
And
honest.
on that note,
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I'm being honest. We got rid of some of the crap that we got rid of. We actually made, I think, $90. Getting rid of some of the crap that we made. It wasn't a lot. Just you said
so you're
65.
saying you had a really good DoorDash that night.
But you had, but you spent the time.
Yeah.
To do that. I'd rather spend the 90 on the bag that gets picked up or the dumpster that gets picked up and just be done with it.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that. It's all one man's trash.
And especially if you're not a people person and you don't like to fucking haggle for 6 cents with some fucking twat bag that wants to. Yeah, don't get me in a haggle situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
eBay is
it's like,
easy
dude,
anyway,
it's marked for $5. Just give me fucking $5.
Yeah.
It's clearly worth more than that. Go to hell.
Right.
My dad's estate sale, I was in charge of all the big items. The car we were selling, the lawnmower we were selling, like all the big stuff. Because I told my sister, I said, no shot. I'm haggling over this fucking vase or this anything. I said, give me the big stuff. Send them to me for the big stuff. They want to, you want to haggle with me on a 1996 Buick LeBaron? Yeah, let's talk. But I'm not on a fucking tea set. Go fuck yourselves.
Right. A Darth Vader Lego piece. Yeah.
Exactly. Or my dad's fucking 40-year Playboy collection.
Oh, I don't know that one. That one's worth something. Yeah, there's some good shit in that one.
I actually, that was one of the big items that I was in charge of, and I actually got some money for that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
sure you did. Anyways, you guys have been entertaining as all hell today. Thank you all for showing up. We appreciate you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And we want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Get on our website, AtlantisAfterDark.com. Grab some cool swag from the merch store. Get on Discord, talk directly with us, and then hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. For Sekju, for BIFF, for Retpmus and Zuzu, we'll see you all right here next time for another fantabulous episode of Double AD. So long, everybody.